Hello there, everyone. If you're watching this video, then you are part of the TTOR Army, an army that is building itself up one subscriber at a time. As you can see from the title and thumbnail of today's video, today we're going to be talking about a very plausible end times theory where the globalists are going to portray Jesus as being the leader of a Jewish conspiracy to enslave the world for the Jewish New World Order. Now, this is something that is plausible to me because I'm going to show you what the theory says, and then I'm going to offer my thoughts as to why I believe it. But the particular theory that we're going to be discussing today was actually laid out by this guy called Donnie Discerned. And this is what he wrote in a Twitter post that I found very fascinating. The real false light satanic agenda is actually quite simple when broken down. Stage 1. Position corrupted Jews in power. Let them reign and influence, profaning God's name, e.g. the Rothschilds, the Illuminati, the globalists, the deep state, Zionists, communists, etc. Ezekiel 36:20-21. Stage 2. Awaken the masses. Gradually begin to reveal the problems in the world, sparking a global awakening or red pill moment, much like offering the fruit of the tree of knowledge to humanity, promising enlightenment and liberation but leading to rebellion. Stage 3. Build resentment. Foster anger, bitterness, and a desire for vengeance against the Jewish New World Order agenda. Stage 4. Raise countercultural leaders. Elevate charismatic social media and political influencers who are fighting for freedom to lead a global revolution against the deep state. Stage 5. Spark interfaith unity. Call for all faiths to lock arms and stand together against the perceived Jewish New World Order, creating a united front against a common enemy. Stage 6. Invade Jerusalem. Mobilize a global invasion of Jerusalem under the guise of destroying the New World Order as prophesied in Zechariah 14:1-2 and Revelation 17:16, where the beast kingdom, nations, destroys Babylon, Jewish New World Order with Jerusalem as its headquarters. Stage 7. Usher in a false peace. Promote a golden age of peace and safety as taught to usher in by lying spirits to figures like Alice Bailey and David Icke. The age of Aquarius with humanity free from the Illuminati and awakening the Christ consciousness of humanity. Stage 8. Deceive about Christ's return. As Christ's return looms, Satan knows his time is short and will try to convince the world that it isn't Christ's return, but rather a desperate final strike by the Illuminati, an alien invasion, or an archonic threat to take back control of the planet. In reality, it will be Jesus bringing sudden destruction to their false peace and safety. Stage 9. Post-millennial deception. After the millennial kingdom, where Christ reigns from Jerusalem, Satan will be released from the bottomless pit to deceive the nations once more. Continue the narrative of the Jewish New World Order, framing the saints in their glorified bodies as evil beings, and Jesus reigning from Jerusalem as the Antichrist or even Satan himself. Revelation 20:7-8. Stage 10. Final Global Crusade. Launch one last global crusade against Jerusalem through the same Jewish New World Order narrative. Revelation 20:7-9. This is what is really coming, and it's brilliant because it plays on the desires of man, elevating their natural sinful inclinations of pride, self-righteousness, and the desire for heaven on earth by their own means. This is the only deception so powerful that it even could deceive the elect if possible. Matthew 24:24. It is the only real way Satan could convince the world to invade Jerusalem and stand against God, fighting Christ's return at Armageddon. Scripture tells us that the world will curse his name as he delivers judgment upon them, and they will not repent. Revelation 16:9-11-21. The only way Satan could achieve this is by making the world see Jesus and his kingdom as an evil Jewish conspiracy to enslave the world. This deception is truly without parallel. I believe we will see this all play out very soon. Take heed and guard your hearts. Now, when I look at this theory, I find this plausible because we already see the roots of it taking place today. 3 years ago, when I made my big hour-and-a-half long video response to Adam Green of No More News, I was literally responding to a video where he tried to claim that Christianity was a Jewish psyop that the Jews made up to control the minds of Gentiles like myself. And in all those videos I made about Andrew Torba, where I was exposing his anti-Semitism, he basically made many claims, basically insinuating that the Jews were behind all the evils in the world, and that basically if you look at who the globalists are composed of, it's the Jews primarily. The idea of Jesus and his kingdom being an evil Jewish conspiracy to enslave the world is something that we're already seeing start to get established in the world today, and I can see it getting worse over time. But Donnie Discerned didn't just have this whole thing laid out in one tweet. He had this other tweet where he responded to someone. There was a guy named Dr. Frenzer who showed a picture of him talking with ChatGPT. Dr. Frenzer asked ChatGPT, "What does Jesus say about the true Creator God in Gnostic tradition?" And ChatGPT responded, "In Gnostic tradition, Jesus is often depicted as revealing a higher hidden God known as the true creator or the monad. This God is distinct from the demiurge often identified with Yahweh, who is seen as a lower flawed being responsible for creating the material world. Jesus in Gnostic texts teaches that the true God is beyond the material realm and is the source of divine knowledge, gnosis, which leads to spiritual awakening and liberation from the physical world." And then Dr. Frenzer said in response to this picture, "The Jews lied to you about Jesus." And in response to Dr. Fresner, Donnie Discerned said the following, "This is precisely what I mean. As Babylon is increasingly exposed, the narrative that the Jews lied to us about everything will eventually evolve into the Jews lied to us about Jesus. The truth seekers are increasingly aligning with the Gnostic perspective that Jesus tried to free us from Yahweh's supposed matrix of control. It's the serpent's deception repackaged for a modern audience, and many are falling for it without realizing the true nature of the bait. This is what I've been warning against." And then in his follow-up tweet, Donnie said, "And of course, his banner photo is the Christian crusaders who will march on Jerusalem believing they are defeating Satan's kingdom and the New World Order. This is the rise of the new Gnostic army masquerading as Christians who will kill the saints believing they are doing God's will." John 16:2. Then Jake Shields recently said, "Many people are aware that the Nazis burned tranny and gay books, but few people are aware that they burned the Bible too. Why does nobody ever discuss this? Does it not fit on either side's narrative?" To clarify, it was the Old Testament that they wanted destroyed. Donnie Discerned responded to Jake Shields' tweets and said, "Jake Shields just posted about how the Nazis burned the Old Testament, and I want people to realize that this is exactly what I've been warning about, the reemergence of the Gnostic deception that deceived Germany and is deceiving many today. This deception seeks to separate Jesus of the New Testament from Yahweh of the Old Testament, creating a counterfeit Christ who will target the Jews under the guise of destroying the New World Order and ushering in a golden age, the new age of Aquarius, the Beast Kingdom. Just as the Nazis tried to destroy the Jewish New World Order and bring about a 1,000-year Reich, a counterfeit of Christ's millennial kingdom, we see the same narrative unfolding today. Any Christian who aligns with these movements must purge themselves of this deception immediately. Many have no idea that they are walking in darkness, locking arms with those who oppose our God. This is the strong delusion warned of in Thessalonians, and we must guard our hearts during these times. The deception is powerful, leading many to believe they are righteous warriors fighting for humanity, when in reality they are being led into rebellion against God." So, at this point in the video, I think it's pretty obvious what Donnie Discern's theory is. Basically, his theory is that the globalists are eventually going to basically use the Jews as a scapegoat. So as we can see at this point in the video, Donnie Discerned's theory, a theory which I'm already seeing begin to take root in reality today, is that Satan and his minions are going to convince the world that the globalists are actually Jews who are trying to enslave the world and create a Jewish New World Order. And so therefore we must stand against this Jewish New World Order, and we must overthrow them, and we must establish our own version of utopia on the earth. His theory also posits that we're going to see a rise in Gnosticism taking over among Christians, and that a lot of Christians are going to fall for these Gnostic lies, and that they're going to start persecuting Christians like me who will not accept the Gnostic lies, and they will be convinced that by persecuting and killing Christians like me, they're actually doing God a service, when in reality, they're actually rebelling against God and putting to death God's true people. I will definitely have Donnie Discerned's theory in mind as I watch world events play out over the next several years, especially over the next 6 years in particular. And who knows, we may very well see Donnie's theory about the end times come to pass. It's also possible that he is wrong about some things and that end times events will come about in a different way. But I'm already seeing the beginning of Donnie's theory start to take place in reality. And not just the rise in anti-Semitism, aka bigotry against Jewish people, but we also see a rise in people who think that the globalists are Jews, who are trying to establish a Jewish New World Order and that they're trying to enslave humanity. I'm already seeing that come into fruition in terms of what people are saying in the current times, and I think it is highly possible that that theory will catch on and only get worse over time. But time will tell if Donnie Discerned's theory is correct. Hopefully you guys will pay attention to world events along with me, and we can figure out whether or not Donnie Discerned got it right or not. The main purpose of me posting this video and reading all of these tweets by Donnie Discerned is that this guy lays out a very plausible theory about how the end times is going to play out, and I just want people to have that theory in mind in case it does play out in reality over the next 6 years or so. And with that, I bid you guys adieu. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, and you like my content, but you also don't like how YouTube censors people like me, I would encourage you to check me out on a couple different YouTube alternatives. One, which you can see right here on screen, is called Rumble. Rumble is owned by Donald Trump's media company, thus making Rumble Donald Trump's YouTube alternative for all intents and purposes. In addition to my regular content, I also live stream my episodes of God TV Radio and the TTOR show. And so if you like my content and you want to watch it on a site that doesn't censor people like YouTube does, and you want to see my live shows when they're live, I would encourage you to subscribe to my Rumble channel, check out my videos there, and share my videos around. The other YouTube alternative that you should subscribe to me on is Quarter, which is an open source alt-tech alternative to YouTube that I started over 2 years ago. And I currently run the site, just like I did when I started it. It has all of the features and functionality you would want from a site like YouTube. Full HD video upload capacity, including 4K, live streaming, free restreaming, easy to use comments moderation system, public playlists, and other features that YouTube doesn't have, such as the ability to upload pictures instead of videos, the ability to upload audio files instead of videos, the ability to post articles where you can embed videos from just about any site on the internet into the article as long as you have the proper code for it. And, of course, there's video chat rooms on Quarter where you can do video calls of people and you can live stream to your channel from these rooms. And since I am a real free speech advocate in the purest sense of the phrase, Quarter is a site that champions freedom of speech in practice and not just word. So if you're a content creator and you want to use a site that champions freedom of speech and is run by a content creator like yourself who understands how important honoring freedom of speech is for a video site, Quarter is the site you want to see. And Quarter is the site you want to use as a content creator. So, if you are a content creator, be sure to join Quarter, upload your content to Quarter, and start spreading the word about Quarter in your Quarter videos. And with that, I bid you guys adieu, and I will see you in the next video.